Welcome back, students. Now we will be studying more about the literary devices. So now the literary devices, alliteration. It is the repetition of the same consonant sound. Can you see the words underlined? Same consonant sound. For an example, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. I hope you can easily recognize the sound of P. So if you can recognize the sound of P, so it is same consonant sound. Saved some. This example I have taken from your same course book. It is Dust of Snow, class 10th. It's a poem in our syllabus. Behind bars. A tiger in the zoo, class 10th. Next literary device is repetition. In this case, there will be the repetition of a word, phrase, or even a sentence in the poem. Like, I chatter as I flow. So here chatter word is repeated, I word is repeated. So here in this case, it will be repetition. In the same way, there can be a repetition of one single line in the poem 3 times. That also will be the repetition case. But if the question is particularly asked about one extract, and in that particular extract, this word is repeated, so again it will be the case of repetition. I hope these both the literary devices are very clear to you. Moving on to the next. The next is onomatopoeia. This is a word that imitates sound. It represents. Like, listen to me very carefully, children. This example, I chatter as I flow, is very, very important. I have used this example previously to explain you the repetition. Now I am using the same example to explain you onomatopoeia. I chatter as I flow. This is the poem The Brook of class 9. Fine. So in this poem, the poet talks about the river. Here I is referred for the river. Now I chatter as I flow. This is the noise of the river, or when it flows, it makes this sound. So whenever the word represents sound, it is onomatopoeia. In the same way, he should be snarling. Snarling, this is the example again from your course book, that is a tiger in the zoo. So sound, snarling, I told you while explanation, it is the alarming or the roaring sound in anger by the tiger. So this is again a sound word, so onomatopoeia is used. Fine. I hope this is clear to you. Personification. As with the name, it is very clear, personifying something, like to give the qualities of human to animals or objects. We can see the example. Again, the same example is very important. I chatter as I flow. I told you this is the brook. So for the river, we would have used it. But here the poet has used I. Can you see? First person is used for river. So you are giving the qualities of a human being to river. Fine. So this is again personification. He should be snarling. We discussed this poem in detail. He here refers to the tiger. Again, this is line from Tiger in the Zoo. Third person is used. Third person pronoun is used for animal. So again, if you are giving the qualities of a human being to either animal or an object, it will be personification. Fine. So in the whole poem, if the question comes for 1 mark question comes in the poem, a tiger in the zoo, name the literary device. So it can be personification. Same way, the brook was personified in class 9th. There was a poem, the brook is personified. Next literary device is symbolism. Symbolism means using an object or action that means more than its literal meaning. Means the meaning of the word, there is a literal meaning of the word definitely, but the word which means more than it, in that case it will be symbolism. Like fire and ice, these two words are used as a symbol in poem Fire and Ice. It is again of class 10th. I've taken it from your course. Fire in this poem has used is a symbol of dust or desire. Lust or desire we have already discussed in the poem. Ice is a symbol of a heartless hatred. So in this way, fire and ice, literal meanings are very clear to us, all of us. We know the literal meaning of this word, but what is the meaning in symbolic language? This is symbolism, different meaning. Fine. Oxymoron. The next literary device is oxymoron. Oxymoron is used when the poet uses two opposite terms together. I'm focusing on the same word again, two opposite terms together. Like if I use a peaceful war, the very first word is peaceful, means to be calm, and here war, you know very well what is the result of the word destruction. These two words are used opposite in its meaning. Like peaceful is calm, something which is very calm. War is something destructive. It can never be same. So it is opposite in meaning. In the same way, again I have taken the example from your course book. In a quiet rage. Quiet rage is the example from a tiger in zoo. Quiet means to be quiet. Rage means anger. Again, these words are opposite in nature. So wherever you read the poem, wherever you find these words opposite in nature, the literary device will be used, oxymoron. Next literary device which the poet uses is imagery. Imagery is the literary device. Actually, what poet feels, what poet imagines is being expressed through his writings. In the same way, when the poet imagines a situation and express it with words, like he should be lurking in shadow. Again, the example is being taken from class 10th, tiger in the zoo. I am taking more examples from your textbook so that it will be more clear to you when you are going through with your textbooks. He should be lurking in shadow. He here refers to the tiger. We have done in the extract, it is the situation of the tiger in its natural habitat. Poet is not confirmed that he should be lurking. He is just imagination of tiger's activities in its natural habitat. So it's just the imagination of the poet, which the poet brings in front of us with his writing. Hyperbole. This is a new literary device for you all. Hyperbole is a literary device. Somewhere we exaggerate the facts. Like somewhere we say this, that you are telling it more than the things. So it is like the same. I am so hungry I could eat a horse. We agree that the speaker is hungry, but hunger is so exaggerated that it is compared with the eating of a horse, which is an impossible task. So it is just to exaggerate the hunger, to express the level of hunger. He has used this example, I could eat a horse. So I hope it is clear to you. Hyperbole, please pay more attention here while revising. It is an obvious exaggeration, means to exaggerate the facts, to make it more. Everything is more. Last is assonance. It is somewhere to be related with alliteration, but here the repetition is of vowel sound. Again, I am taking out the point of alliteration where we have done it. Alliteration is somewhere the repetition of same consonant sound, and here it is again repetition of vowel sound. So vowel sound in vivid stripes. Again, this is the example of class 10th. In vivid stripe, I sound is being repeated. I is a vowel again, so it is repeated. On a proud round cloud in white high night. So O and I. Here O sound is repeated, you all can see that. And here I sound is repeated. So in the same way, if there is a repetition of vowel sound, you need to underline it. You need to find out the literary device, and the literary device in turn will be assonance. Children, we have covered here lot many literary devices. Now please go through them once again, make the notes and read your textbooks. Do revise them. Thank you very much.